What's up, y'all? It's Venus Friday. I have an idea. Let's have a story time. A cuffing season story time. Before I get into it, I'm bringing this up because I was overhearing a conversation between an older man, probably in his early 50s. He's a good looking guy, talking about cuffing season and he about to find him someone. And I was like, people still cuff? Like, I don't know why. I guess because I don't do it anymore. That's probably the presumption is because I don't do it, nobody else is doing it. But I wanted to have this little story time because I'm a womb wellness practitioner and I just feel like sometimes even older people do not make smart decisions. So instead of coming up with a categorized list of precautionaries, I'm just going to tell you this story. You can denote from it what you will. All right, so picture it. It's fall 2014. I'm 27 years old. I'm semi hustling, semi confused about life. Getting ready to uproot myself from Atlanta to Nashville. I'm single, obviously. And, I just had a lot of things that I was trying to balance out. And so I knew that I was not ready for a relationship, even though I'm like, I really would like love, but I'm not ready for it. However, my body was like, but do you have to be ready for love in order for me to be fulfilled? Like it was an internal conversation. So I put out this signal into the universe and someone answered. And I meet this guy. He's from North Carolina in the military, chocolate and all of that. I'm from New York, so these country boys got a little swagger that I appreciate sometimes, honey. And he's just like, I'm letting him know, listen, I don't have a problem with being a juicy woman. I was smaller then. I was so fine. I was like, I hope you don't have a problem with a juicy woman because I get my feelings hurt, if that's a problem for you. But also at this time in my life, in addition to realizing that love wasn't really what I needed, I was a bit of a Teflon Don in that if I wanted to be intimate with you, I left it at that. There was no let's hang out. There was no we're not calling in between sessions. It's none of that. Like we're gonna come together. We're going to have an experience, and I'll see you next time. Peace. So I meet this guy and we're talking and we just decided this is a thing we're gonna do. So I give him what my expectations are and I'm like, tell me what you expect in return. So we have this very mature conversation and like I said, I purposely and intentionally built walls up and I honestly never got connected to anyone. The first time that we were together, whew, this little man opened up every chakra, every spiritual past life, every ancestral DNA hieroglyphic. I was like, honey, honey, like finger, oh, honey. And I was just like, damn, I'm about to literally move to Nashville and this just started. So we decided that, because I was coming back every 4 to 6 weeks to see my grandmother anyway, that would like just be our little arrangement. And so I would drive like, all night after working, and I would just drive the 4.5, 5 hours to be with him. And it was a lot. Like, it was a lot. Okay. I was traumatized. Okay. I'm not going to lie to you. It was dipped in gold and encrusted with gems and things, and it was just touching my soul. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. So I had that emotional connection and I let myself get open. And then one day, let me tell you what happened. One day, I was like, hey, I'm going to be back in town. What's going on? And he did not respond immediately. Like he always responded immediately. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Long story short, he texted me like 3 or 4 days later and was like, look, I just want to be an upstanding, honest man. And I said, like, you in a relationship? Because when I was at your house, like, I didn't see no woman's anything, clothes, shoes, nothing. Because I looked in the closet just to see, just to make sure. And I just wanted to make sure there was no weapons there. Like, I always got to protect myself as a thing. And he was just like, look, you're a good woman. God bless you, blah, blah. I was like, but no, no. Why are you trying to take it away from me? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Like, why are you really doing this? And I'm crying, and he's like, yo, chill out. I'm like, no, I don't want to. At that moment, I was like, I'm done with black men. I'm done with all the shenanigans. And I just realized that there are certain things that need to happen when you are in your cuffing season mode. And let me tell you the number one thing that is. If you already know what it is, you should. If you're wrong, class, what is it that we need to have when we are in a cuffing season situation? Boundaries. Now, true enough, we both laid our expectations, but I don't think we both just had this expectation that the sex was going to be amazing. I know I didn't because I didn't care. I was like, whatever, we're not in a relationship. But the thing about situations and situationships that occur during cuffing season is that they are a form of a relationship, even though it's unofficial. Now, with an official relationship, you have covenant, right? You have communications, you have hopefully trust. But one thing that distinguishes situationships from relationships is accountability. And if you don't have the boundaries in place, emotional boundaries, spiritual boundaries, you know how I feel about soul ties, you know how I feel about opening your womb and your energy spaces. But if you don't have those type of boundaries in place, you are putting yourself in a position to be diseased, right? Dysfunctional, because you have now stepped into a realm of relationship by which you are not safeguarded. My mistake was that I allowed my boundary of communication times to be non existent. I'm really, really strict on having hours of communication for certain people. Like, I segment people in my life, and they know this. And so, if you're just a lover, you don't get the same courtesy to hit me up at, certain times, especially that we don't agree upon. So I allowed that line to be blurred on both of our ends, right? And so ultimately I caught feelings because I wanted to. When I tell you I wanted to, I was like stir crazy. But this is what I want to say. If this is what you're going to do, right? Definitely just have an agreement with yourself that it's not going any farther than the season. Listen, and ladies, don't let him, tell you, oh, your stuff is so good. I think we should start, seeing each other more frequently, or we should move in with each other. That didn't happen here. But I'm just saying for an example. And fellas, don't let her, see you being well to do and well off within your own personal and professional life. And she's like, I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready to have some babies now. I'm ready to change my last name. Listen, we are humans. We all get tripped up, but cuffing season is a real dangerous time because the moon is extra full and the winter solstice is extra open. And so what does that mean is that there's a lot of energetic portals, right? And so some of y'all be making babies out here with people that you don't really want to be with, and you're opening your body up for contracts of being parents. And STIs and STDs are still a thing. And I just want you to be careful and make decisions that's like standing your ground, because that one time kind of changed my life a little bit in that it took me a minute to kind of reconnect with people in a sensual way when we were having adult lovemaking time. I don't know what to say on YouTube, but listen, you got to be wise out here and be careful. So, listen, cuffing season is cool, it's great, it's gravy, but just keep your boundaries in order, because I don't want y'all out here catching cases like I was about to do. That's really what I'm trying to say. I'm really trying to put you on game. You will catch a case, and I can't bail you out. Love you. One last thing. If you're praying for a permanent person, just think, how can God send you your person if you have that position filled by a temporary filler? it won't work, and you're gonna think that God forgot you. Be well.